Hello, everybody. This is Adam Abusang. I want to tell you about my New Year resolution. One of my New Year resolutions was to make a lot of good friends, real good friends, and also get up to 10,000 subscribers so I can get the bronze button. Yeah, so we can be friends if you want us to be friends, because I want to make a lot of real friends. And we can be friends if we have common terms that we can agree with. But if you want me to do what you want me to do to be your friend, I'm a slave. But you know I'm not your slave. So I'm not going to do what you want. I'm not going to listen to you saying go and do your research and then do your research from Christian Prince. You know that's a lie, but you still said it for whatever reason. So this point about where did Christian Prince lie? It's about Paul. And I think in my next video, which I'm going to talk a lot about that, is that if something is said in Islam and it is not in the Quran, and then Muhammad didn't say it, we don't take it. We throw it under the gutter. It doesn't matter if it's in the hadith. If Muhammad didn't say it, and it's like some other third, fourth, fifth person saying it, and it contradicts the Quran in some other way, we throw it away. So yeah, you remember when was that? So I'm just making this video because a lot of you ask, where did Paul lie? Where did Christian Prince lie? So it is the lies about Paul. And the video is from the Islamic sources. It can't be from the Christian sources because she told me to go there. That is part of my New Year resolution. I'm friends to people who we can be friends. Not friends to people who want me to do what they want. So we are seeing this from Evans, and I'm going to link an article below so you can go and read more about it. So let's see the video first.
What does Islam say about Apostle Paul?
About what?
Paul. What does
Paul.
Islam
What does Islam say about Paul? Islam doesn't, there's no consensus message about Paul. But let me tell you about Paul. Paul is someone on the day of judgment I don't want to be anywhere near. First and foremost. I want to know what's waiting for him. But Paul is someone who I'm not sure, and no scholar that I've spoken to is sure, what happened with Paul. Was he a saboteur? Was he a saboteur in order to disrupt Christianity or what the followers of Jesus were doing from within? Or was he just fooled by Satan on the road to Damascus when he thought he saw Jesus? That we cannot answer, whether it was blatant or whether he was fooled. But one thing we do know is he destroyed the teachings of Jesus. He told people to break the law. In Galatians, he commanded them to break the law. He said the law is cursed, and Jesus was cursed on behalf of it to remove it from us. And Jesus said anybody who breaks the law and tells someone to break the law, they are the lowest person in the kingdom of heaven. So Paul either was a saboteur or he himself was fooled and duped. But even when Paul met the disciples of Jesus, when he met Barnabas, they had a falling out because Barnabas said, hold on a second. What you're teaching is not what I heard from Jesus, and I saw the man myself. And he fell out with the other disciples when they got to know him. And Paul, when he returned to Jerusalem, at the last part of his life, Paul returned to Jerusalem. Does anyone know what the city of Jerusalem did? They all came out to kill him. They all came out to kill him. And the guards of Caesar came and got him and protected him and took him away. And that was the end of what we know about Paul. So Paul did not really see eye to eye with the disciples nor the followers of Jesus at any point. It was the later churches and the letters that were written to churches who were outside of Jerusalem, who were outside of the disciples' reach, that Paul had an influence on. But we don't have time for the history of Paul. I wish we did. Paul's an interesting man.
That's completely different, right? Christian Prince will tell you Paul is in the Quran. And maybe most of you are waiting for me to react to Christian Prince. I didn't, because I found this Muslim talking about Paul too. So I thought I'll listen to the Muslim than listen to the outsider that I don't know about. And the thing about Paul, I read an article. I'm going to put the article in the link so you can go and see it. And it's a Muslim source. Whether you trust the Muslims or not, that it is a Muslim source. And if you don't trust them, you shouldn't even be debating with them in the first place, you know? That's why I thought I have to take a stand. I can't be on the sideline trying to say Muslim Christians talk together. It doesn't seem it's going to work. So that's why I'm taking a stand. This Christian Prince, his quote, when you go and read Quran chapter 36 verse 14, nothing it says about Paul. It talks about messengers, and in the commentary, it talks about Jesus sending people to go to some king in Antioch or some other city. One thing, there's a good chance that that city has never existed. History is telling us. You will see that in the article. There's a good chance that that city has never existed. That is one point. Another thing is that the people he sent, they are disciples of Jesus. If you have lived in somewhere where there are kings, you know, I came from Africa, so we have chiefs and they have their messengers. You can have a messenger of God, and you can have a messenger of a king, a messenger of somebody, of a messenger of like some big person. And the messenger is referring to here, at least that I know, is Jesus' disciples. That might be wrong. But you can read more from the article. But what he's saying, number one, you should know that it is not in the Quran that, hey, this is Paul. And it is not in Muhammad didn't say it. Oh, this is the big thing I should have mentioned actually. So the reference Paul gives is from a guy called Shoaib al-Jabai. I've never heard of that guy in Islam. And you take something from randomly from somewhere, although it's in the commentary. I'm not going to deny it's not in the commentary. But how good is it? And remember, you know, if something contradicts the Quran in whatever way, it's been kicked away. And this one is not even a contradiction. It's just that you are misinterpreting it to get the Muslims say, hey, you are finished here. But that's not the thing. So just say, you know, it's not in the Quran and Muhammad didn't say it. And if those two sources are wrong, and there's this 10th or 20th person who makes a comment about it and then they put it. And what you should also know, there are so many one things. Let's make it the third or fourth thing. Is that there are several other people who said the messengers were different people. And then they mentioned the names. So Al-Jabai, he mentioned two other guys plus Paul, and like some other two scholars mentioned some other three people randomly, which they are not. Paul is not even mentioned. So why don't you Christians look at those verses too? Why don't you look at those commentaries? I mean, yeah, some of you told me in the comments that debate is about winning, but it's not about winning. If you want to tell a person lies, just to beat him and tell him that, hey, you don't know what you're doing. And what you're saying is not even something interesting. It's just interesting to you because you think, oh, this is a winning point. Let's hit it. But I don't think that's right, at least. But let me know what you think. To me, that is what I always knew. And you can also look at this logic too. If Paul was accepted, that's like 6 or 7. Yeah, 6 or 7 centuries between. 6 centuries between. And why can't the Muslims just call themselves Christians? Paul is the dude who even reinforced a lot. You know, I'm not a Bible scholar, but you know that a lot of the Trinity came from Paul. I mean, you can say it comes from the Old Testament, but Mohammed Hijab asked David Wood, and David Wood just shut up. Like he didn't answer any of those questions, like in a whole 4-hour debate or so. I don't know what was the problem, but I mean, at least what I just heard, it's rumors, so don't quote me, is that a lot of the Christian Trinity came from Paul. And if Islam believed in Paul at the time of Muhammad, why does Islam still exist? I mean, you can tell me they're being political or trying to play around, it's a game. I mean, it can be gamified, anything can be gamified if you know how to, but that's what I think. And Christian Prince is lying. My next video, I'm going to blast a lot more on that. Just going to do it right after this one. Yeah, Christian Prince was lying. If you didn't know, here's the point. He's lying. He's looking for points to win an argument, which is what I even reinforced in my other debate. Winning always leads you to want to do something bad. I mean, it's not too bad, because maybe competition is good. As much as we can see, capitalism is so good so far. Not the best one, but it's good so far. But you can see that Google is like paying other search engines that are small, pay them like to stop like promoting themselves, so that Google Chrome can get more recognized and be seen as like the best one, even though they might not be the best. So if things come into like it has to be competition, and you have to see who wins, whether you're telling the truth or not. You can lie, lie when it's in a debate, and then you see you kick back and forth. But you don't lie when you're sitting behind your screen hiding, nobody knows you, and you're just lying people. If this guy was like doing something like Bitcoin, by now he'd have been a trillionaire, because the number of people who believe him is a lot. But anyway, that's just my views on it. You don't have to take my words. That's just mine. You can let me hear what you think in the comments. And if you're angry or whatever, you have the right to be angry at me saying that he's a liar. But yeah, that's what I think. You can say what you want in the comments below. But I think that we should focus on the truth rather than focusing on too much about winning. Some of you focused a lot on that, saying that it's about winning, debates about winning. Well, you can win, but if you're telling the truth and you're winning, not if you're winning just because you want to win, you have to tell lies to win. Anyway, see you in the next video.